Hello, hello, hello. Hello? Hi, nerds. Welcome in surprise live stream. I was actually able to announce this a while ago, but today is a big Anno117 embargo day. Ubisoft was able to actually invite me to their an additional preview event. I have access to the full game preview, basically. We're able to cover, I'll tell you right now, we can cover a lot of the game. A ton of the... Hey, Carl! 4X enjoyer. We can cover a lot of the game today. We're going to be covering everything from Latium, the old world, all the way up through Tier 3 residents. But that also includes being able to talk about combat, being able to talk about all of the really cool and exciting constructions on Latium. But also we get to cover Albion and how exciting and transformative it is to be able to not only just sail to the new world, but actually start games on the new world. And Albion, of course, having a variety of different decisions to make and having the choice between Roman or Celtic upbringings or doing a little bit of all of it. There's a lot. There's a lot going on with Anno. And I think I wanted to make a video about a claim like this, but I need to play the game a little bit more before I can make it. But I think Anno117 has the potential to be one of the most replayable Annos of all time. It's what I've played so far is fantastic. I love it. Very few bugs that I've come across. I just want to play again and again and again so that I can really start making that claim. But VV, how's it going? How's it going? So I think we just jump right in, right? I want to show you guys what Anno is looking like, feeling like. Get you guys as excited as I am for Anno, and it's really exciting. Now, when you guys the first time you play Anno, I highly recommend when you hit new game here, play the campaign. The campaign is amazing. It sets up a lot of the characters, the story, like what's going on. Why are we settling islands in Albion? Why are we settling islands in Latium? What is this Roman island anyways? And also, there is a choice between two main characters. They are pretty much they're very similar in terms of who they are. Basically, you can play as the brother or as a sister. Obviously, for Rome, most of their governors were male, so when you're playing as the female leader, you're also dealing with a lot of those, a lot of people that don't really think that you should be governor, but you get all that same vibe when you're playing as the guy too. Both these guys think they're the imposter, and I think it's a fantastic way to play, but I think when you play Anno for the first time, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the campaign. I really am the type of player that likes to jump in kind of spoiler-free and just enjoy and get immersed in a game, so I want to leave that for you guys. We will be playing on the sandbox. Oh, also, very specifically, I do want to highlight co-op campaign. Co-op campaign. Amazing. I love it. I love it. So you could be actually playing as both of them. I have not tested this. I would need another streamer friend, though, that would be interested to play a co-op game of Anno117 when it comes out. I believe it comes out at the beginning of November. I should probably read up on some of that. I think it's the beginning of November. Let me just double check. Anno117 release date is going to be November 13th. So I know I'll be busy with a lot of Civ stuff. I wanted to really dive in and get a big Anno video out today. I didn't quite have the time. I ran the Steamtown Marathon last weekend, so I've been exhausted. So yeah, oh man. Oh, fine. Twitch your leg. All right. I'll do it. Let's see. So we're gonna jump into the sandbox mode. This, of course, endless. Explore an open world, and oh man. So there's a few different really cool. Obviously you can play with co-op. You can do multiplayer as well. VB. Thanks for the description. Welcome back to being a nerd. Officially a nerd for 5 months. So when we play the sandbox, there's a few different things we can play here. Obviously, we can play as the two main characters. You can also unlock additional characters. A lot of these Oh, hello. I hit the Hall of Fame. A lot of these, of course, are unlocked when you unlock them in-game. They, of course, are like the plebeians and the mercators or the smiths. These are your Tier 2 residents. And then you have a couple of Tier 3 residents here. You'll also notice you'll be able to unlock some of the NPCs that you will meet in the game, including the Emperor. I don't know how to unlock these yet. This is all, of course, very new to me. Civ 7 got an update? I know, right? Look at this. Look. Actually, though, Anno117, if you're not a fan of, oh, man, there's so much overlap between Anno117 and, like, exploration age of Civ 7. And I love that. I think, obviously, Anno focuses in on it, but I think there's a lot that Civ could pull from Anno. Maybe we'll point out a little bit here and there as we're playing it. Obviously, there are different games. There's only so far you can do with that. But I think in terms of inspiration, it's like, and it's a fantastic place. We're gonna set our name. Of course, there's a random name generator here. Let me just do nerdy. Boom. And then we'll play as Marcus, who's the main character. We'll do a banner. I always play as Lapis Lazuli. Nice. All the colors are Celtic green. It seems like they're actually named after, like, Lapis Lazuli, of course, is a blue stone often used for dyes. So that's really cool. And then I'm going to pick... Sorry, I thought it said Civ 7. All right, guys, we're going with the Civ 7 logo. CXV11, Civ 7. Game is set to Civ 7 on stream. I could have swore I changed that. I did. Okay, thank you so much for calling that out. 117 on Twitch. Pax Romana. Bam. Updates. It must have got reset again. Thank you, Steel. Actually, what I need to do... I need to adjust some of the settings here. Options, of course, audio. I need to turn this music down. The music is great, but I need you guys to hear the game sounds and me and the music and the pop-ups. I want to show off right here. 4K. 4K is available. I will be playing... actually, I can't even adjust it. I can't turn on HDR either. I believe those settings, of course, will be adjusted soon. But I only am playing on medium graphic quality. I have played on high, and the game runs fine on my computer. I have a decent computer. It was top end like 5 years ago. I'm sure Anno's going to release their own PC specs if they haven't already. But for the sake of my live stream, because I'll be multi-streaming, I'll be setting this to medium. Of course, or I could actually, here, let's set it to high. I'll change it to medium a little bit later. Because you can actually set it mid-game without having to restart. But I do want to showcase the quality. This is, I think, higher than they recommend. But at least we'll jump into the game high quality and then we'll turn it down, just so you guys get a vibe of what the game is looking like. There is, of course, a benchmark, so you can figure out on your own machine what your settings should be. The benchmark is long though, and I was a little bit too impatient to really run through it. So we'll jump into endless sandbox mode. We'll play as Marcus Achilles Heel. Hilarious. What a great random name. We'll do... I did nerdy. I'll just do nerdy, actually. Boom. We'll pick our banner. Oops. Hang on. Banner. Lapis Lazuli. Civ 7. The Legion logo. Cool. Of the 117th year of Pax. 100... 10, 5, 2, yeah, 117. Nice. So you can, of course, change your difficulty here. We have, I believe these are actually, oh, they're not locked. I will be playing on the beginning difficulty. You can, of course, edit this. Tutorial I'll leave on. All of this stuff is on low. I have not figured out how to be good at the game yet. I know the defaults of the game. There was a time or two I kind of freaked out because I didn't know what the heck was going on in terms of my economy just getting crushed. So, but for the sake of being able to expand very quickly, build a lot of things, really fully explore through the game as much as possible, I of course will be playing on this difficulty. We'll hit confirm. And then we have our beginning NPCs. You guys may recognize these from previous things. Dorian's the bro. He's the easy rival, and he's the biggest football player cheerleader combo I've ever seen. He wants to see you succeed. He literally goes off about how much you motivate him. He's amazing. Tarragon, Old Farmer, and Licia Ma. These are all the defaults. I'll play out these. And yeah, here's our overview. We'll go to Providence selection. For 4-player co-op as well. Yeah, so let's actually quickly look at that. You have slots. So you can have up to, I believe, 4 players, and you have up to 4 players on one team, on one island. You can be playing as separate leaders, or you can be playing together and managing an economy together. I've never played an Anno game like in that fashion before, so if you guys know what that's like, feel free to share. I think that's awesome. I think having flexibility. I know in terms of, I just got my girlfriend to start playing Anno 1800 with me. It's been fantastic. I did not set ourselves to the same team, so we had to go sail across the islands and find each other. And we're both like doing our own little economies. And I need to play that again. We stopped playing. We got busy. I need to start playing again. It's so much fun. And she's having a fun time. She's more of the aesthetic builder, like she wants to put her little buildings wherever she feels like, and build to beauty. And I'm building a hybrid. I'm not full efficiency eco. I like a hybrid of some beauty with an efficient build. And then I just was sending her money. Hey, you won $10,000? What? And she can't say no. It just goes through. It's so much funny. The Greek himbo gonna make me act unwise. Yeah, the Greek himbo is hilarious. So you can start on Latium. You can start on Albion. Now, this is why, a big reason why I'm saying Anno117 has a lot of replayability, because you can literally start in the new world. Latium is the classic golden Anno experience, as they advertise up here, and it's gentler for beginners. The waters, there's less raiders. There's only one production upgrade path, so it's a lot simpler, but it is the classic Rome. It is where you get to build up to Roman concrete and amphitheaters and aqueducts, and it's something I want to really, really jump into. Albion is a little more complicated, a lot harsher, smaller islands, as well as less fertilities. And there is a choice whether or not you want to fully embrace Celtic and build the Celtic upgrade path, which really embraces the marsh and the Celtic way of life, or if you want to embrace the Roman pathway, which includes draining some of the marshes and building a lot of the same things that you build in Rome, whether that's using tiles and other building materials that Rome uses as opposed to reeds, which we'll get into. I'm going to be starting here in Latium. Don't worry, we'll be able to build up this island and explore Albion very quickly. All you need to do is finish out the tier 2 residents, and then you can sail down to Latium. As soon as you unlock tier 3 residents, which requires you settling a second island, at least on you're in Latium, then you can go to Albion.
The senatorial province of Latium was once Empire's beating heart. A beacon of power, decadence, the arrogance of man. Then fiery Augustus gave voice to the gods' anger, obliterating our mortal follies. In among the ash lay a chance for humility, for change. Yet, we mortals are fickle. Hubris rises in us again, and in a new dawn's light, the question remains. Can we build a better world? Or are our past sins destined to repeat?
Alrighty then, let's rebuild. Worried you're pumped, excited, thrilled even. That's fantastic to hear. Now, I need to figure out exactly where my camera's going to go, and I might actually just have it disabled for a lot of this game. I might move this. Camera overlay. There's a lot of information. I'm just going to turn my camera off. That way you guys can fully immerse yourselves in the game. Look around the UI where you want to look at it. But I want to point out immediately that the fidelity of the game, amazing. I'm having a fantastic time. That was one thing I highlighted in my very early preview video, was that the resolution, the optimization was not there yet. It is absolutely there now. It is fantastic, and the game is gorgeous. Again, I'm playing on 4K and high quality settings, and it's just like, look at the ship, dude. If you've been wondering what the ships look like and why like the Roman ships are exciting, like look at this. This is our flagship, and it has 2 cargo slots, but it comes equipped with oars, a ship archer's tower, as well as a ship scorpion, which is these little ballista here, and that is incredible for naval and land assaults, it says. We'll definitely be doing some warfare later on with these ships, and that's going to be very exciting. The cinematics have always been amazing, and I've always been excited by the cinematics. It's the gameplay that I was a little bit... I wasn't worried. It was just like, I like, it's going to take some time, and like, yeah, they're there. They're there. Like, this game, look at this. And I'm actually, some people complain about the UI. I think the UI is fine. I think the UI is good. Anyways, they're going to be telling us a lot of things, but basically, to get started, you're going to, of course, want to start with some wood, right? But before you build all your houses, build your wood first. That's generally a good idea. Now, of course, we have the classic Anno style production chains in terms of getting our material online. Ooh, dude, look at the ox. Look at the horse. Cute. So our first production chain, of course, is the woodcutter. Now, I like setting these inside, of course, the woods. You'll see the number of woods that you need is 80, and as long as you are above 80, you should be able to get 100%. Now, planting woods is something that these do not do. I believe that is unlocked later on in the game. But for the sake of just maintaining some of the woods, I'll put in that little nook right there. It's going to be hard for this game to live up to Anno 1800 for you, as the Industrial Revolution is both one of your favorite time periods and is perfect Anno game mechanics. You're still excited. Yeah, I think it's going to be different. There's a lot of the game, personally, for me, that feels very familiar to Anno 1800. I think the challenge for Anno 1800 specifically or Anno 117 is living up to the Industrial Revolution and the excitement that involves in an Anno game and how perfectly that lines up. And I think that's why they're leaning so heavily into all of these different choices. You now have a tech tree. You now have a religion tree and a prestige tree, which is something that I don't think they've really talked about much. But this is new. So we'll be going over that as we advance this game. Now, early on, you really do want to get your wood production set up, not just like an immediate setup, but like getting a really good setup because you're going to need so much wood. So I'm going to actually start off by putting out, I see this little nook of woods here. So I'm going to actually start a couple extra woodcutters. And this is really helpful just for the sake of getting as much wood production as possible. Now, we have a warehouse, of course. I'll plug this in right here. And I'll put in some roads. You want to be careful not to remove too much of the trees when you're placing down your woods. But then, of course, our sawmills are going to go next to our warehouse. That way, the lumber is transmitted to the sawmill, and then the sawmill transmits to the warehouse. You want to try to put the buildings in this order so that the lumber doesn't get delivered to the warehouse and then needs to get re-delivered to the sawmill. This is way faster because it delivers directly to the sawmill, then the sawmill delivers to the warehouse. You'll be way more efficient because you only have 2 loading ramps at the start. So this warehouse will never be overloaded by these 4 buildings because it's only 2 buildings that are delivering to the warehouse, and that's And then getting a multiple... Oh, sorry. I need to actually connect this to our starting area. That way, we're going to be having a nice early production of wood for us. You had an amazing experience. Yeah, VB had a good time, too. Yeah, having a research tree is hilarious and fantastic for an Anno game. I think it's awesome. I'm very happy with where Anno is right now. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start with our first residence. And I'm going to just place these. We'll have some fun when it comes to the exact blocks and stuff. But for now, our very beginning buildings, our Libertius, our freedmen, are going to be placed here right next to the coastline. Now, wood would be able to build everything that we need for tier 1. So all we need is some wood and the ability to deliver.
What could you possibly require?
Now, the Liberty will need to be fed. Food is actually very important. Very, very important. If you run out of food, your entire population will collapse, and that's something I had to learn the hard way. But this is your very first choice. You could feed your population with just fisheries or just porridge. You do not need to do both. You'll see you only need one of them to satisfy his ability to be upgraded. You can, of course, do both, though. The fishery, of course, being incredibly easy to accommodate because it's just the one building, producing fish and delivering straight to the warehouse. Once that's delivered to here, he'll have his food needs satisfied, and he'll be great. I do actually want to block out a little bit of my starting island. And I do like the... I'm going to set this to day, actually. I really do enjoy starting in Latium. Because I don't know. I'm... Ooh, dude, look at this cliffside. This is actually be a really good place for the villa later, because it's going to be easy to defend. But yeah, dude, look at this. Holy waterfalls. Now, this is where our aqueducts are going to be, for sure. How do you win the game? That is going to be completely up to you. I believe there's going to be victory conditions that you can set up. And right now, the sandbox is called Endless. So I don't know if they have victory conditions set up per se. But we will not be able to play to the point of victory today anyways. So I would say there's going to be a variety of ways to win, probably. I believe they're leaning into like rebuilding a Colosseum amphitheater building as being like the World's Fair project. I believe you can always conquer all the other islands, and then there's going to be a variety of different ways that they're leaning into. I'm not exactly sure though, Nathan. Can I triple and quadruple roads? You can also, yeah, you can build double roads. You can build triple roads. You can also build paved roads later on. Once you get concrete. So that would be something to look into.
It's beyond us.
There's also, of course, a bunch of narrative events. These are I think, hilarious. You do want to read them because sometimes they're actually really important. Libertius passes you, straining under a heavy load of timber. He carries the hopeful air of one who has recently celebrated his freedom from slavery. Despite this burden, he stops and hails you as governor. How do you respond to him? You could seize his goods, which will reduce your happiness, but you just get free wood because you're stealing from him. Or you could buy it from him. 400 gold, 20 wood. That's awesome. Or you just wish him on his way. You actually get you actually get 10 wood there. I'll buy his supply of wood here. This is actually a really convenient early wood supply for cheap. That's really good for beginner players too. I'm also going to go ahead and build out a second block here. And of course, the roads. Oh, being able to just click on a block and building the roads out around the entire population is fantastic.
Something for your consideration.
So we've actually completed our food supply satisfaction, right? Yeah, we're starting to get food. Once we get up to 20 Liberty population, we'll be able to build our market and taverns. So I'll build out some more blocks here. And this is why I really, really enjoy being able to just boom, copy. Of course, we have full refund, and it's free to move our buildings like this because we're on easy mode. Of course, you'll be able to adjust that as you need, but we're gonna have a very quick population growth as these. You'll see the food, the sardines themselves provide 1 population and 1 income per household. So as the houses get sardines, you'll see it has an additional population, which is then converted straight into workforce, and also the building is starting to generate gold because of the sardines. Now porridge will give you more food, and just to highlight, I actually don't need to do this right now. I can skip and go straight to the market and to the tavern. So the market
Public services
is a
close to residences
building
in
that
order to
affects
meet people's needs.
everyone nearby. Now the market will increase the population of your houses, as well as the gold income. You'll see if I put it down here, it's going to affect all the buildings, but if I put it up here, it's going to affect most of the buildings. There are technologies to increase the range of your markets, so I'm just going to put it up this way. It's actually okay if it's not affecting these guys. I'm not planning on upgrading these guys anyways. So just having a market here, putting a road all the way around it, that should be able to affect a lot of our population, and that immediately actually skyrockets us straight to tunics and the Palias hat. Because it's really easy, I'm also going to grab the tavern very, very quickly. This is a population and happiness building, and I like putting this right here next to the market. Kind of open it up too, so that it is like we have our market square, we have our tavern. Like this is, you know, if you guys have watched me play Anno117, you know I like putting a bunch of my production buildings like in a big old extended market square, and that's something I'm going to be doing here too. Because you actually get a huge benefit for doing so, and I actually just really enjoy that I do that. Yeah, we are definitely playing in a grid fashion right now. We will be playing definitely playing with diagonal roads though. But I think for the start, we'll start with our classic grid. So now that we have not only our food satisfied, we also have our market satisfied, we can actually do our fashion needs. So our freedmen, they do have a little bit of fashion they want. So we can actually look at focusing in on our tunic supply. Now let me figure out where I might want to put this, because we of course have all these mountain slots, which will be for our mines and aqueducts. There's actually a ton of them on this giant mountain. That's amazing. But we also have a bunch of these river slots, and these are going to be good for a lot of things here later on. I think yeah, you know what? I'm going to put it right over here. I'm going to put a hemp farm. Oh, we do have woods. Hang on. I'm thinking. Ooh. Maybe I do wheat here. All right, let's do our fashion. Hang on. Now we can put this pretty much anywhere, but for the sake of kind of showing you what I like to do, I'm still gonna have my classic Anno grid, but I'm gonna be putting my a warehouse here, because that's going to be where our tunic building is going to pull the resources from. Now, to actually grow the hemp doesn't have an AoE effect, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it over this direction. And let's just do a little bit of beauty too. I'm just gonna go ahead and do something a little bit silly, but for the sake of just having a classic nerdy Anno experience, I'll be putting a little bit of a house next to it, and then of course our hemp farm, and then surrounding the little farmhouse here with hemp. This is actually more than I need. And actually, something to show you, if you hold down shift, actually, once you build it, if you hold down shift, you can actually just do additional plots. And this is something you don't need to do, but just for aesthetics, it is possible to do. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and put a warehouse right here as well. Boom. And that way, the hemp will be delivered to the warehouse here. And then when this spinner needs to get hemp, it will actually have to, it can actually pull it from this warehouse. And that's just going to simplify our production chain so that this doesn't have to be delivered all the way down here because you can't even reach it. So now you want to be careful of how many warehouses you're building, of course, because they all require maintenance, but that's okay. You started placing your farms next to rivers because of you? Yeah, best decision ever. It looks so nice. It looks fantastic. We'll be able to do like a little bit of like a secondary like farming area over here. We can even actually, ooh, yeah, we can actually do our porridge over here as well. Now, the porridge stand does not have an AoE effect. So I actually don't put this next to the market square. I just put it next to my warehouses. And I actually just like putting, this is again, something that is not generally efficient, but putting a Libertius next to their stand here, and then having a farm nearby, again with another Libertius residence, is just something that I like doing because it's cute. But we'll grow out our porridge here. And then we even can go ahead. I'm actually going to move the two of these so that we have the farm delivering to the porridge stand kitchen. And we can even rotate this so this feels a little bit nicer. Yeah, like having the house open up to the porridge stand so like the farmers walk out, they work in their kitchen, they can go back. It gets delivered to this warehouse. But yeah, that will be able to satisfy both of our food concerns as well as having a place for our hemp to grow. You're in for the classic nerdy Anno experience. Ben Van, hey, welcome back. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think you're going to have... The first time you play Anno, you're going to really be able to experiment a lot. I played more in terms of the original, like the Latium. So I'm not exactly sure some of my... how I'd lay out floor plans for a lot of Albion yet, but I'm kind of figuring out the more I play, the more I'm starting to enjoy and rework how I lay out my towns. And I'm really excited for this.
This may be of interest.
But you'll see here, your buildings, your production buildings, they're going to cost both a gold maintenance as well as a workforce maintenance. Now you have to, of course, increase your income every time you want to build more production, and you need to increase your workforce to work those buildings. Those, of course, are going to mean satisfying your population, building more houses, but also satisfying their needs, because that will increase the population and the workforce, as well as start generating you income. Now, you'll notice, so our Libertius here do have sardines. They'll have porridge soon. We have market and tavern, and then the fashion, that will be coming here shortly. While we're here, I might as well also build the felter. So I'm going to have that near the center of our town as well. And then the sheep, I can go ahead and have these be produced in this area as well. So we kind of have a little bit of a side, like, farming center. Now, if I wanted to, I can always put markets and taverns over here to boost these houses. I'm going to hold off on that because I remember these do cost maintenance. So you want to be selective about where you're putting these. Well, this is a full production pipeline for the entire tier 1 residents already. While we're waiting, I'm going to actually take our ship and start sailing around to meet some of the other players as well. You like the beauty building? I almost never build rural farmhouses like that because it's too inefficient. I do build small towns with services against the farmlands, though. Yeah, I do like... yeah, I mean, I'm the player that doesn't get too worked up on maximum efficiency. I do want things to be efficient, but I have so much fun in terms of making things make sense as well. So we met Tarragon, who is the old farmer, but you can see the classic Anno fade Oh my goodness. Of the rolling clouds roll away. I want to know where his lighthouse is. Oh, Licia Ma.
My name is Licia Ma. Licia
I want to
means glowing
note
clouds, like the ones you see in the desert. At
they
dawn.
also redid her voice
is
acting,
yours?
which I think is good. She had a very broken English before, and it just didn't feel right. Now she has a much better spoken. It feels less stereotypical, and I think that's just a good thing. But you can go ahead
What a
and make
pleasure
sure
to meet you.
we're gonna meet
Licia
both of
Ma.
these. We're gonna extend a polite greeting to both of them.
You
That, of
simply
course, is going
must
to
join
affect
us
our
for dinner
positive
sometime.
our relationship in a positive way. You could mock them. You could definitely have like a first friendly game, but then you can also have a game that you play very aggressive, and you just kind of role play being a butt. So that's one thing you can do for replayability. But yeah. Now I want to actually note here on the UI. They actually do show you this little graph icon. I think this is huge, just letting you know, oh, I can actually just click that button and look at all of my production chains and sort by consumption to population. Like this is great. You can see we're building plenty of sheep, plenty of porridge, specifically consumer goods. This is the screen that you're gonna look at the most, because you'll notice I can produce 1 ton per minute of fish, but our population's already demanding almost 1. So you'll want to keep an eye on these. Is the hotkey any different? I believe Control Q also brings you here. But I think just having in the UI, because when I first played Anno, I had no idea that screen even existed. Just having this little graph icon makes you be like curious, and you click on it and then you see. But you'll see we're starting to generate income. We're actually at a positive balance for the first time. We have 239 population already, and we actually have a little bit of island belief. Ooh, okay. Our happiness is starting to go up, but our fire safety will be going down as we unlock all of these things.
Cock and sardine.
So we're starting to generate very quickly. Dorian.
Kyrie, Governor. I run this island. Name's Dorian. I can't wait to join your routine.
My routine. You've encountered Dorian Malleus Scaevola. He hails from the province of Hellas. How do you wish to respond? So we're extending a polite greeting.
Doesn't raise a sweat doesn't get you ahead, man.
What doesn't raise a sweat doesn't get you ahead, man. Dude, I love him. He is the Gilgabro of Anno. Absolutely. He is the easy NPC. The other two are normal. And this is on the easy mode, so I wonder how difficult the AI are going to be. But you can see, we can check out some of his buildings here. He has a little bit of a block system, which I actually very much, I like that. We're probably doing something very similar with my own cities. But you can see he has a little bit of a woodcutter, sawmill. That doesn't really seem as efficient as it could be, my man. But yeah, no, he's got a fun little island too. But those are our 3 friends. Now I want to bring up actually very quickly the diplomacy. I've been finding this is actually very, very good.
To deal with rivals.
So you can actually give them gifts for money to make them happy. You can enter war declarations. It'll show you what's available and what they won't accept, and also why they won't accept it. There's this modifier here. Like if we ask a defensive pact, he won't say yes yet. We need more prestige specifically to ask for that.
In Hellas, he's a nobody.
But what we can do from the beginning is actually take a loan. And now there's different levels of loans. Predatory loans you can actually unlock later on through technology. But benevolent, moderate, these are actually good. Look at these interest rates, dude. The smallest loan is 15% interest. So depending on how you play, these could be good or bad. I tend to take them whenever I'm kind of running out of cash. But I know I'm rapidly expanding, and I'll be able to like increase my income soon. For the sake of showing them off, I'm gonna take the moderate loan. That's 1,600 gold immediately. That actually changes these economic power. There's a bunch of attributes around here, but so that's gonna decrease my balance because I'm paying them back. But I got a lot of immediate gold there. So you like doing the 3x3 blocks in Anno117 and putting parks and plazas in the middle? Absolutely. That's what I've been doing too. What I've been doing recently for my 117 build is something a little, basically just kind of this extended block. Like this. And then of course,
It is time we attracted a higher grade
Oh,
of
sweet. We can unlock the next tier residence as well.
ones.
Something a little bit like this, where I have room to do decorations in the blocks right here. Loans, yeah, classic loans. They actually want me to look at... So this is actually the Emperor as well. Now, when you are managing your relationships with your neighbors, you also have to keep in mind how that affects your relationship with the actual Emperor himself. There's a lot of things you can do to improve relationships with your neighbors, but your governor, the Emperor specifically won't like it. You have to figure out how much you want to please your people in terms of making them happy, but also keeping your Emperor happy and actually rolling with an iron fist. And you can roleplay that any which way you want. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. Now, I'm going to jump straight to upgrading to our next tier resident, which is our plebeian.
This shining pillar of civilization.
We're going to have these guys here right next to the market square, and this unlocks our tier 2 construction resource, which will be our tiles. You'll see we've unlocked a bunch of different things right here. First thing I want to do is get our tile production online, because that is going to be basically our immediate... Like, that's what we're going to need to build everything in the plebeian workforce. So we need clay. Clay takes a river slot, as well as charcoal. Now, charcoal burns wood, just like it does in the charcoal kiln in Anno 1800. But you see, there's going to be a few different places we can do this. Now, you'll want to actually keep in mind that the tiler actually creates more fire safety hazards. So you don't want to be placing these, of course, in the center of your empire. That's going to burn the whole thing down. What you want to do is have it kind of offset, and having these... this is why I have kind of my offshoots, where I have some of my production set up. This has to, of course, include a river. So... And I want to keep it away from my woods for now. Now, I'm thinking... I want to keep it on this end of the river. And I'm also going to build a bridge, I think. I could build a bridge here. Utilize this warehouse as well. I actually really like placing this charcoal kiln right here in the middle of the woods, because there's so much to work with. And I'm going to put the tiler nearby. Yeah, let's do this. I'll put the clay here. So this clay pit will be pulling clay from the river. That will then be delivered to the... tiler, and the charcoal kiln will also be delivering to it. Something like this. You'll notice this is actually... Oh, it's just in range of the warehouse. Honestly, that's fine. I'm just going to leave it. You could do a bunch of like optimization, like just putting this one tile away. Actually, that might work out for me. Yeah, that works out for me. So we'll do that. Can I do double bridges? Good question. Looks like you have to have them one tile apart. You can do diagonal bridges, though. That's important. Now, I'll keep an eye on our production times as well. You'll notice our clay pit only takes 30 seconds to produce. So it'll be producing 2 clay per minute, while our tiler takes 1 minute. That means it can produce 1 tile per minute. That means 1 clay pit can actually produce enough clay for 2 tilers. And the same thing with a charcoal burner. It can burn 2 charcoal at a time. Now, you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on that, because you want to try to build as much tile as possible. Because, like, literally everything in the plebeian workforce requires tiles. You might even want to look into building a couple of these at the start. Now, I need to actually keep an eye on my plebeian workforce. As soon as we're upgrading or building all these buildings, we'll need more plebeians. So I can go ahead and unlock and just upgrade this entire block at a time. Of course, as you're unlocking, upgrading population, you're going to lose a lot of BHTS because they're moving up in the world to plebeians. The plebs. Yeah, the plebs. Plebs. But speaking of decorations, there's actually a bunch of decorations that are available. There's, of course, you can put down short grass. And actually, even though it costs money, I'll show you guys what this looks like. I also need to turn off the planning mode. Boom. So you have short grass you can put between buildings. You can do a dirt. You can also do a mud. Or you can do a stone. Of course, depending on what your population is, you might want to do different things. And also, you can upgrade these later on. But I think we have a few different items that we can play around with in terms of making a little bit of a public square area. I'm not going to do anything too crazy, but I do like having some trees. Now remember, get the diagonal roads. You can even do diagonal trees and decorations and move them around. We have a little fountain here. And then we can also do just a quick little couple of additional trees. We'll even get a couple different types. And just a cute little immediate square like that is something that is we'll be playing around with. Dirt looks best with this tier of residents. I agree. Yeah, dirt looks pretty nice here. There's plenty of decorations to play around with. Also, a quick little reminder, make sure if you're watching on Twitch, you stick around, you leave the video open, because if you stick around for 2 hours, you get free Twitch drops for cosmetics. And I believe that it's going to be decoration pieces, specifically. But you'll see what there's going to be plenty we can decorate. I'm just going to go ahead and place... immediately place grass and having, like, an opening, like, park. There's a bunch of different ways you could decorate here. You could, of course, do a bunch of trees. You could do every other. I also really like doing rotating these, just so that there's a little bit of a diagonal happening. But there's a lot. There's a lot you can play around with. Which tree was that? This one? Oh, I can just copy.
You need a villa, Ere, essential in demonstrating your control of an island.
And now, remember, decorations actually add to prestige. So it's not just... Like in Anno 1800, you got appeal for adding decorations, or attractiveness. In Anno 117, you get prestige, and that's going to actually add to a lot of things in terms of governance and working with your emperor. Yeah, I do think they... I'm having a good time blending these textures. Let's very quickly, because you guys had mentioned you like the dirt here. We'll switch that to dirt. And it looks like it doesn't even cost money to change... because you're removing the grass, which is refunded, and then you're paying for dirt. That's actually kind of cool. Ooh, Pax Rhetorica. Now this, narrative event time, the crowd falls silent as you ascend the rostrum in the public square. You, a living symbol of the eternal city, must now find the words to guide them. Declare the value that will guide your leadership. Ooh, do we want to focus on faith? Getting a boost to our belief, but decreasing our knowledge. The pursuit of knowledge, which is going to be increasing our knowledge at the expense of faith. Honest labor. Oh, wait a second. Decreasing upkeep cost. But reducing happiness and fire safety. Oh, gosh. This also increases your reputation with the Emperor. Or liberty. Decision has no effect. Okay. All of these also, actually... Oh, the pursuit of knowledge affects your relationship with your governor as well, but faith does not. All right. I actually really like boosting knowledge early on because it means unlocking a lot of early techs. Honest labor, reducing our upkeep costs would be great, but fire safety is so dang hard to manage in this game. At least until you get to aqueducts, I think. I'm going to pick the pursuit of knowledge here. The art and the backgrounds are so good. I absolutely enjoyed the art. It's not just 3D art in this game. There's a lot of 2D art. I really like how they use both. Blending the textures. Yeah, like, look at this. Look at this. This is, of course, your advisor. he is actually a slave, but he's a slave advisor for you. He is very important in the campaign storyline. But look at this, a 3D character on a 2D artistic wallpaper looking directly at you and talking to you. That's so good for immersion, right? I think every game should try to focus on having really compelling 3D characters, nice artistic 2D backgrounds, and then to look at you. I'm not talking to anyone directly here. That face, yeah, I know. Oh, man. Yeah, the pursuit of knowledge. Hey, farmers, just so you know, I made it more likely you'll perish in Inferno, just so I'll be a little bit smarter. We'll pick up the pursuit of knowledge here. That's actually going to give us let's see, a boost to knowledge. And it actually unlocks our tech tree early. That's actually really good. The rising reputation. Ooh, okay. So there's a bunch of things that actually are being unlocked right now. There's a bunch, like our plebeian foods are now here. But also, I want to very quickly look at the tech tree. This tech tree is so important. You can focus on your economy early on. You can focus on your civics, and you can focus on your military. How you go through these different pathways is completely up to you and your specific game, right? How are you playing a very militaristic game? Are you gonna go just rush straight for slingers and protective entourage, or do you want to focus on your economy early on, or do you want to focus on unlocking other deities are unlocked in the tech tree as well? But things like unlocking your wells for your fire safety, or your watchtowers and your latrines, these are all really good for your population stats. Now, I really like getting up to the sewing circles very early on because it allows your spinners to create knowledge, which I think is a very, very early snowball effect. So we're going to very quickly go for trading post improvements. This will allow us to improve our trading post. There's a lot of things in Anno117 that you're used to just being able to do when you actually get to either that tier resident or having enough resources to do so. In 117, a lot of those things are actually locked behind tech. And I actually think that's okay, because a lot of those things are... It's not that they're hard to unlock. It just takes a little bit of time, and it makes you actually prioritize certain things over others. Now, specifically, like talking about some of our stats here, you'll see we're at -69 fire safety. They're already recommending that I start building the fire station. Now, you'll notice that these are actually not unlocked all at the same time. Anno has done a little bit of tweaking to make sure things are unlocked one at a time so new players aren't overwhelmed. I think that's a good thing. So you can see we can put a fire station right here in the center of our city, and that is going to increase our fire safety up to the positive. Way less likely to have a fire in the center of our empire. And if we do, these guys will have patrols. You notice you can actually see them walking around. They are going to go ahead and start patrolling and putting out fires as well. To note, specifically, you'll notice the fire stations are the first thing we unlock in Latium. In Albion, it's actually the hospital is actually the primary concern. There's a lot of things that are different when you start in the two different regions. That is a small one, but actually one that I think is actually interesting. Can you queue text? You can queue text. Yes, so click here, click there. You'll see here's the queue. You can remove from queue, pick something else, and it's automatic. You don't have to shift click or anything. So it'll automatically queue up to sewing circles. I found queuing text is absolutely the way to go, because if you finish a tech, your science is no longer going anywhere. I don't think it pools or stacks. So you actually do very much want to keep an eye on it. They're, of course, asking us to build our villa. Our villa
Your villa will be the main target.
is the building you need to defend when you're invaded. So this is your palace. This is your city center. This is your capital building. You need to defend it, so you want to keep it somewhere that is not very easy to attack. There are garrison units and health in the villa. So if it's attacked early, it's actually not a big deal, but you also want to try to maximize your prestige that the building produces, right? So having it here early on is actually very good, but also maybe sometime you build it all the way, you put it all the way out into this nook of mountains that can only be invaded by one direction later on in the game. And we could always move the building too, so that's something to keep an eye on. Oh, Tarragon has a quest. Hang on, I'll come back to you, buddy. I actually want to look at a couple of things. You see we're building our tiles up. Is there still a radius in the fire station? Yes. Almost all buildings have some type of radius. Buildings that do not have a radius, like if it has an AoE effect, it is by radius, but specifically by road. So if you'll notice, if I just destroy the roads to these houses over here, it is no longer supporting these houses. It's not just area effect, it is also via road. So there you go. That is a subtle difference that they've changed since the last time I played it, where before it was literally just a circle. So you have to keep in mind that all your cities are connected via roads, as well as close enough together to be affected by each other. So I'm gonna get our next food online. We can build garum or we can build bread. Now this is of course decided by some of your fertilities you'll want to keep an eye on. I believe wheat is available on most starting islands. Garum, though, the Markle, sometimes it's not. You'll notice if I click here, missing fertility. So depending on the island that you start on and how many fertilities, the difficulty, you'll have some decisions made for you in terms of what you can and can't build. So some of the things are decisions. Some of them are going to be dictated on the actual playthrough of that game, and just by the randomness of that, you'll have a little bit more replayability, because sometimes we're focusing more on the sea resources, sometimes we focus more on the land resources. This compounds with religion here later on. There's a lot of things to look into. I want to go ahead and get our bakeries online, so I'll be planning this stuff out. We do have, it goes from wheat farm to grain mill, which requires the river, and then the bakery. So our mill, I'm going to try to put right here. I'm going to go do planning mode as well, because a lot of this is dependent on a bunch of these buildings. Now, what I eyed earlier was the fact that I could have some farmers, some wheat supply over here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a farmhouse here. I'm going to do my little nerdy house next to the farmhouse as well. And then I can go ahead and put the wheat farm in this general area. And you'll see that they will immediately start to... It'll take as much land as it needs, but it's going to... the grids are going to automatically wrap to where you need them to. Now, of course, I could build roads here. Actually, I could build roads straight over these rocks. You have to keep an eye out for cliffs, especially in Albion, that can block roads. But for the sake of where we're at, I'm also going to build another one right over here. Oops. Gorgeous. Oh, you know what? I'm going to actually scoot this down another tile, because I'm going to go have this all grow next to the river. And also, I'm going to keep an eye on my lumber mill. You know, not to encroach too far on the lumber mill. And, of course, that doesn't go all the way to the end. I think this is fine. We're just going to leave it. Ooh, actually, hang on. Maybe we do scoot one tile over. Just so I can do something. Yeah. Have it go all the way out. And then also we're going to build our mill here. Now this is going to deliver to this warehouse as well. But I have to keep an eye on... I have 2 sawmills and 2 tile workers delivering to this warehouse. What I could do instead is just put another warehouse right here for the mill specifically, just so that I don't have to worry about that.
Progress. Research any specific discovery and reap the benefit.
So that is now the wheat will be delivering to my mill, and my mill will then deliver to the warehouse. The last building is going to be the bakery. Now, the bakery has an AoE effect. This is one that I'm still not sure whether or not I should be doing. You'll notice it increases income, but it also increases fire or decreases fire safety. So I like putting my bakeries in my city centers, but it is a big fire hazard as well. I'm going to make sure that it's next to my fire station here. But again, I like having it near... Ooh, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to move the fire station back and put the bakery right here. Just so that it's right next to the market. There we go. But it also will be taken care of in terms of any fires that happen. It does take charcoal, remember? So the bakery... I'm actually maxed out on charcoal for the 2 tileries, so I'll make sure that I just get at least 1 more charcoal kiln. Now, this could be anywhere that I have a bunch of trees available. And honestly, I might put it over this direction. And we can always move this later, too. But that way, I'll have just plenty of charcoal. We'll be overproducing charcoal, so we'll get a surplus as well. Excited to see the Roman equivalent of a trade union. Uli, I can show you right now, actually, right after I select this tech.
There are many discoveries one can research.
Oh, we're still researching.
Civic,
Our tech is going to be very
military,
slow because we don't even have a grammaticus yet. But you'll notice our villa, the thing that he wants us to build right now, is our primary building, right? Hang on, let me just very quickly grab some more blocks. And then our villa here is going to be where your primary specialists are coming from. So the villa, I'll actually just build it right now because we have the tiles and
Always bribe your own gods before someone else does it.
we have the resources to do so. But the villa not only is the building that you need to defend, otherwise your entire island is conquered, right? Because your harbor is no longer what needs to be conquered to take an island. You have to go on land and take the villa. But the villa also has specialist slots. This is where you can place your specialists. It also has a garrison. You'll notice there's specifically 2 infantry units inside. And if you try to attack the villa can shoot back. It also has like a health bar, so just like in Civ 6, cities, or like actually specifically Civ 5, the city center can shoot back. That's basically how these are structured. They have a health, they can attack, they are not defenseless. Oh, that's interesting. Can I actually get these guys to come out, I wonder? I don't know. But in addition to the villa, there is also the officium. This is a specialist building. This is your trade union. You cannot build it in range of your villa, but you can put it in other areas. That means you could have specialists, say, over here with a bunch of your farms, increasing the production of these farms specifically. Yeah, land combat is really cool. We now have specialists. We also have basically your capital building as well as offshoot specialist buildings. Wasn't the villa supposed to be modular at one point, like a palace in Anno 1800 in previous games? Yes, it used to be modular. They have reworked the villa several times since I've seen the game. And this is where they are landing at now. It is a garrison structure that needs to be defended. And I know some of the immediate feedback that they got that people miss trade unions. So instead of having your specialists, like as you could only put them on like a module on the side of the which required expansions, they just added specialist slots to the villa itself, and then the expansion modules are now just separate government buildings that can be placed in other areas that will have their own specialist slots. Can you increase the limit of officiums? Yes. That is a very huge range, actually. So you'll notice your cities are going to get very big. Very, very big. Ooh, I didn't know this, actually. Recruitment buildings allow you to recruit military units. Each unit class has unique strengths and weaknesses. Seems like archers are strong against infantry, infantry are strong against horses, horses are strong against archers. Encamp units to heal hit points and decrease maintenance costs. Ooh, you can put military inside of encampments so they don't cost maintenance as much. And then, of course, you have a bunch of ways to build out defenses. Protect your villa. Walls and towers will keep more intruders at bay, though can be destroyed by siege weapons. Alrighty. So there's a bunch of different things we could do here. I had used wood to encapsulate like the villa before, but it looks like the more attractive way to do it is gonna be with walls and stuff. But yeah, here, let's look at our tech tree. I think specifically somewhere over here I saw it. Where you can increase the limit of your officiums. It's probably, oh yeah, it would be in civics. Villa visitation. Increase the prestige provided by the government villa. There's also, let's see, Romana.
So many open fires and so few
Large loans unlocked here. The art of gift giving.
The whole city could go up at any time.
Now these, of course, are unlocked specifically by getting a growing city. At least 500 knowledge. You have to get your knowledge so high to get down here. It's somewhere down here. Oh, it allows you to build one more office museum. Yeah. So you'll be able to unlock these. Oh, there's another one here. Yeah, so basically by researching civics, you'll be able to build more of them. And here, our city status has increased. That actually does increase the requirements as well. You'll notice here, if you look at your city's effects, active effects. Where is it? City status. This is basically the size of your city. The larger the city, the more fire maintenance you need. So as you upgrade, you need to keep an eye on those types of things. Now our plebeians should be able to get their bread soon. Yeah, it's just starting to come online. Since the villa is more of a capital for each island, a province-wide capital plow would be cool. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I believe you can build a villa per island. Yeah, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to conquer the island. Again, Garum, we will not be building because we don't have the ability to do so. Plebeians are now waiting. Actually, if I unlock more plebeians, we'll be able to get some more of their things. Yeah, here we are. So, we have more plebeians. We've also unlocked new buildings. So, immediately our what's the word for it? The public service building for plebeians will be your sanctuary and your grammaticus. Now, the grammaticus is what affects your knowledge. Now, placing these, of course, centrally is going to be really good in terms of increasing your knowledge. And actually, I do need to figure out how I'm laying out this island. There's also, of course, the sanctuary. Ooh, you know what? Does the grammaticus fit here? Oh, it doesn't. Ah, so close. Actually, it would if I delete this road. I'm just gonna put this here for now. But you could end up putting these anywhere you want. I actually like building out towards the villa as well. And putting all of the, like, having a lot of population around here. For now, I'm just gonna do this. We're gonna do the grammaticus. Now that's gonna increase our knowledge substantially. Right, +3 per residence. So now you'll notice our knowledge. 387 per minute. Sweet. Never build a villa you can conquer your island. Genius. That's a good... Oh, what happens when you get attacked and you don't have a villa yet? I'm not sure. That'd be a good question. Oh, turn off planning mode for decorations. We'll do a couple of quick decorations here. Dorian offers you a treaty. Oh, also, I should be probably sailing around. Let's see, what did Dorian just offer? We'll go to here. Negotiations.
Kyrie, my friend.
Where do I see that, actually?
Good to see you, man.
Oh, here's the prestige window. Now that we've unlocked prestige because we have a villa and we're generating prestige from that, you'll see we'll actually get some different effects as we go. So if you get to, 215 allows you to accommodate more experts, so you're a specialist. The officia gaining prestige allows you to accommodate employ more experts. Oh, I think 250. Appoint a specialist to this slot from island storage. So officia, increase the number of officia you can place. So it allows you to place more of those like trade union buildings, but also increases the number of specialists by increasing your prestige. Where is Dorian's treaty he just sent me?
Let me swim ahead and make sure it's safe.
Let me swim ahead and make sure it's safe. It's such a bro. It's so nice, dude.
Except everyone's on a different diet.
I guess he'll be in diplomacy. You have no treaties signed with this party. I was trying to figure out... Huh. I don't know what he tried to send me just now. Anyways. It looks like there's a quest here from Tarragon.
Truly, my friend, then this is your chance
Oh
to
no.
prove it. You know where to find me.
If I ever needed me before, I truly need you now. My wife and son are in danger, and it's beyond my power to help them, but not beyond yours. All right, yes, I will help you.
Thank you for coming. It's my wife, Merape. She got herself in a considerable mess. Spilt blood in a temple. Hit a servant girl. Now,
Yikes.
my son, when they came to arrest her, he stepped in. It was foolish, but then he's just a lad. Look, they're all I have left in this world. If you could speak to the Emperor, speak for them. No one could think you biased.
All right, so Tarragon wants us to save his family.
Also benefit from increased storage and extra loading ramps.
Oh, sweet. So there's gonna be a lot of things I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth with, guys. But you'll see our research just completed. We have completed trading post improvements, which now allows us to upgrade our trading post. You'll see here it's gonna cost wood and tiles. And that's gonna mean we have more loading ramps, we can trade faster, and also increase our storage. Now, actually, I wanna quickly look at our resources. We'll be building up resources, and we can actually sell these passively. Now, you'll remember we can go ahead and just set things to either buy or sell. But you can actually go to all goods here and sell all goods above a certain limit. So if we get above 100, I want to set this to passively sell all goods. That's something I wish we always had in Anno 1800. Maybe she shouldn't have hit a servant? Yeah, maybe. All right, so we're going to go to his quest. And he wants us to sail...
As do we.
Tarragon's troubles. Tarragon's family have found themselves in dire straits. He asks you request an imperial pardon for them on his behalf. Sail to Diana's lighthouse and see what the emperor has to say. All right. All right. Let's go fix your family problems. All right. And so here's our villa. I'm actually going to do a... I'm trying to... think of something. I'm going to leave a little bit of room around the villa. That actually requires me to scoot this. And maybe we'll see why here and if this pays off for me later.
There is a shortage of workforce in one of your cities.
We have a shortage of workforce. Okay.
There is a shortage of workforce in one of your cities.
What? There's plenty of plebeians. Quality of life. Oh, single limit for all goods at once. Yes, that's what it is. We're also going to go ahead and build out our sanctuary. Now, I could be putting these up here to be next to my villa. And I'll probably move them there later. I'll put these here for now and move them. Just because this is where all my buildings are.
Religious belief in your city was shaped to your advantage.
But that actually now unlocks our religion. Now, there's a variety of different religions you can pick from. From the get-go, you can pick from 3 different patron gods. There's Ceres, who gives you boost to all of your farming goods. You increase production of those. You have access to Neptune, which will increase fishing goods, as well as give you boost to like your ships. And then there's Mars, who is going to give you production boost to all of your military stuff. There's other gods that you have to unlock in the tech tree that will give you different bonuses to different types of goods. But for now, we're just going to pick Ceres because we're going to have a lot of farming.
Fine choice. Your people will delight in lighting their lamps.
That is going to be the local god of this island. We can also set our. We can look at your global, and you'll see what you are. Your relationship to all of your gods for all your islands. It's so tedious to set each one. Yeah, no, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So we met Diana Augusta. She's going to have a bunch of different resources here. So we can actually buy wooden tiles from her. That's actually really good to know. Because if you end up a little bit slow on your production, you can always buy that stuff for cheap, including with loans. And she also has specialist. And we can also sell her specific resource. Now, as part of this quest, the Emperor can't let you take him to the man himself, mind you. I got some lads waiting on a boat out there in the blue yonder. Go over to them. They'll do what needs to be done. All right. So the Emperor is saying that I can't deliver Tarragon's family members to him directly. But he will let me collect Tarragon's family at Diana's lighthouse. You asked the Emperor to pardon Tarragon's family, and they agreed. That was easy. Too easy. There's probably a catch. Oh, gosh. Okay. So Tarragon's family is officially being pardoned. But that seems weird. How do I grab them? Oh, wait. They're like sitting right here. All right, I have collected Tarragon's family. The Emperor would like you to deliver Tarragon's family to her associate. Okay. And that's all the way up here. Well, that's actually in the center of the islands. That's actually very convenient. I'm gonna go this way anyways.
Time flies, as do we.
All right, so here's our island. I'm gonna actually start building out our population quite a bit more. Oh, hello. Come on. Come on. Now, there is a river here I'm gonna have to work around. I need to get more plebeians to unlock the next tier of stuff. So, I also need a lot more tiles. All right, there we are. New options available. So we've unlocked the next tier of plebeian, or the next their fashion needs, as well as other things like the harbor buildings. And of course, we have our military buildings, which we'll get that online soon. We also have the city watch. And this will increase our happiness, which is basically the anti-rebellion mechanic. So we'll put that down. Alrighty. I'm gonna also try to expand out this way. And we'll get a bunch of blocks built out. Now, keep an eye when you're expanding this quickly for your production, specifically of your consumed goods and especially your food. You see my demand of fish? Very high. And porridge. So I'll have to expand those. The fish is very easy to expand. We'll actually expand quite substantially. And now we do have the goddess that is boosting our farms. So I will want to have some more porridge out this way.
Trust me, you want olive oil. It keeps you healthy and competing.
Oh, we want olive oil.
Wow.
All right. Dorian thinks we need to get some olive oil. Yep, actually, we're actually expanding very quickly. All right, we're even expand these farms out this way. And then we'll even have another porridge stand here and a house nearby. So that should actually probably help us with food. Let me sort by source. Porridge, fish. Yeah, we're actually building enough fish now. The porridge should come online once that gets the resources involved.
Might I make a suggestion?
This is showing us about increasing income. Most buildings have the maintenance. Yeah, we've been over this. And then selling passive resources will help you gain more money. That's what they were just talking about.
A decision.
And we can now actually start a festival. The Festival of Ceres. Festivals are unlocked via faith. The citizens of our city, they're asking to host the Festival of Ceres. They wish to honor their city's patron god with a proper feast and sacrifices. The Festival of Ceres, this actually increases income. Area effect of bakers, vintners, and breweries is +1 for 4 hours. We also receive a random specialist or captain. You have to pay for the festival though. So, but if I had enough porridge, I could actually just provide resources for the festival and not money. We're gonna pay for this. It's gonna be definitely worth it to start a festival. Absolutely. And then you'll notice them walking around here in a little bit. Oh yeah, but we have all these resources. Let's see. We actually need more wood. But that should come online pretty quickly. So there's other things we can look into. We can look at the sandals or the soap for our fashion needs. Now, soap is going to require lavender. We do have lavender fertility. Oh, fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Hang on. I'm going to block out a couple of my last city blocks here. I kind of like doing this where it's like 2 levels of blocks. And the lavender farms, actually, they increase your happiness of your cities. So having them close by to your cities is actually very convenient. Including having them over here for all the buildings up this way. Alternatively, the pigs, they decrease your health. As when the renderer also... that makes lard, but it reduces happiness and fire safety. So you want to have a production area for those that are away from your cities. I definitely want to build out this way eventually. So I'm going to be putting it probably over in this direction. Yeah, over up here on this hill, I think. We're going to have some places for pigs. I'll also try to build out figure out where my main roads are going. Of course, I could actually start breaking some of these off in diagonals. Like, for instance, this could be a diagonal that could be fun to play around with. You know, having more buildings out this way, even the shipyard stuff. Right, our shipyard could actually go out this direction. Because I'm also going to need things like the ropes. And sail buildings nearby. But I'll figure out something with that here in a little bit. They are not fond of pigs. John Bean would be disgusted. The diagonal shipyard? Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Let me also... It's actually... I'm going to turn the daytime cycle off. Let me know if you guys want to actually... If you want me to keep it on. And I will. But for now... Oh man, there's so much planning. So much planning to do right now. This actually could be another diagonal. Ooh, actually, hang on. I'm going to move this lumber mill. Ooh, city status increased again. Nice.
Your people enjoy life. They do not fear tomorrow. You are gracious.
Oh, thank you.
Suits you well.
Suits me well. Thank you so much, Licia Ma.
Hazardous housing, rampant disease. Think of your athletes in residence.
Think of my athletes. Oh, he thinks we have rampant disease. That's not good. Ooh. Oh, sweet. We just actually unlocked a huge area of the civic tree by getting to 500 knowledge. Nice. All right, I'm going to actually build out even more lumber mills here. Now, that is on a diagonal. A nice, fun diagonal. Let me actually scoot this one. Oops. Oh, gosh. I'm actually, like, destroying some of the trees. Well, okay, that's fine. Anyways, that's going to keep our wood production very high. Because I actually want to get rid of this here. And we're going to build another diagonal out this way. And this will be a nice, fun way for us to experiment with the grid structure. The diagonal roads, but specifically to like have it wrap around the coastline here. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be so sick. Now, what we do with it specifically, I might play around. We don't want just housing, right? Because you're gonna want other things. You actually might need more markets and taverns too. So we'll keep an eye out for those. Actually, hang on. Yeah, we'll set that there. And even... Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, my goodness. All right, okay. All right, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. We're going to have an additional market and tavern over here. Just so that I can get, like, a bunch more housing. I can even get more spinners. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, dude. Hang on. Hang on, let me cook. Please rotate. There we go. The diagonal roads get a little bit complicated sometimes because of the way that it's coded. But you'll notice this is going to work out just fine for us. You can even go ahead and put some here. But yeah, we'll get to play around with having a little bit of the diagonal gridding pattern as well. Now, this is going to, of course, increase our population quite substantially, so we'll have to keep an eye on those effects. Nice.
Everyone should be entitled to some small indulgences.
Small indulgences, yeah, dude.
Wallow in misery, would you?
Oh, there's a actually our first specialist is coming in. I'm gonna actually go ahead and pick one of them. Now they're twins. This is a whole narrative event. We covered it before, but there is one twin that boosts workforce from residents, and there's one that increases income. Ooh, very nice. Let's go ahead and hire Brutus. Oh. Nothing should go wrong if we hire Brutus, right? Workforce from residents, we'll hire him. But I'm gonna go ahead and go to our villa. And then we can plug him in as a specialist. Brutus, Julius. Oh, they really did name it Julius too. That's gonna increase our workforce, specifically of all the population that's around the villa. And that's gonna be our higher workforce, probably. Our plebeians, and then into our... the other ones, tier 3. I believe they're the aristocrats. We also have... Ooh, build office... Yeah, officia to your command specialist outside of the villa. Yep. So that's actually a little bit of a quest here, so I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, I need a lot of wood. Lower happiness is impacting your diplomatic relations. Oh, interesting. Oh, I need to help my happiness.
May improve your island and economy in whichever way you wish.
Let's see. I'm gonna actually build these 2 buildings out.
I would very much like to talk business.
Alicia wants to talk business? Okay. I'm gonna make a hemp farm over here. Once we get a little bit more spaced out for buildings. But you can see with the diagonal roads, being able to fill up these open sections is actually very useful. And then we'll even have room for a small sheep farm here. And these will be able to deliver directly to these buildings. Remember, the Felter is going to be providing us... you can actually see what they're going to provide. It says 0 until it actually gets to the resources. But you'll see it's adding 2 population, 2 knowledge, 2 happiness. Or those are sorry, that's the what those are getting affected by. We know our Spinner will increase income and knowledge, and the Felter will increase income and happiness. But that's, yeah, so that's why I'm liking the diagonal road system, where you can build this offshoot. You'll have to get a little more creative in terms of filling out some of the areas, but specifically some of the technologies will unlock, specifically things like wells and latrines, make researching a lot of those, filling out those gaps a lot easier. Now I want to go down, I do actually want to focus on civics. Here actually is, wells are actually really important. Quartermastery, the cabin space to our ships need really. Cargo, increases cargo slot on our flagship by 2, and the weight slowdown is actually really good. And then I'll queue up straight to wells so we can reduce our fire safety hazard. Oh yeah, all right, so where was I? I was talking about the pig farms. Also, if you guys got more questions, feel free to let me know anytime. Ask me anything about the game, whether or not it's something we covered already or not. Some goods are in short supply and your residents are not getting what they need. Oh, okay, so keep an eye on the...
Very good.
Keep an eye on our resources specifically. So things like, yeah, we have a huge demand for tunics. So we did just increase some of that. We very quickly get another... We do have 2 spinners, right? Oh, these are both, these are duplicate buildings, actually. Hang on. There we go. So I have the Market Tavern as well as a spinner and a felter. Also rotate these around, just make sure like the gate that opens up to the market is there. And yeah, just keeping the buildings nice and open. Aesthetically is pleasing for me. So that's going to help with our production for the tunic specifically. Alrighty. I'm actually going to have a room for, I think, pigs out in this area. We have an entire other coastline to play around with. So let's go ahead and make a nice production area over here. The pigs I can actually, let's see, render. Oh, so pigs into render. They need a charcoal kiln. So I'll make sure that there's one right over here. I will be needing a warehouse. Somewhere. Soap. Okay. Sweet. Now, there won't be too many buildings over here, so I'm not too worried about having these too close to each other. But let's go ahead. Ideally, you have these far away, right? But we can have a pig farm over here. I'm also going to add the pigsties. So that has 5. There's actually a little bit of room for a nice little house here. And that can then be delivering pigs, processing 30 seconds, so it's 2 pigs per minute, and the renderer that takes 1 per minute. So this pig farm can actually support 2 of these at a time. And actually, I do want it closer to the charcoal kiln because it needs the charcoal delivered as well. But that will be delivering lard, and that's going to go straight to the warehouse itself. Like that. Now our lavender will actually grow close to our residence, and the soap production can also be over here by our main market. Now I might actually move my Grammaticus and my sanctuary up here soon. I just need to figure out where the rest of my residences are going. For now.
Is at risk of a great fire.
Oh, yeah, we're at 500 fire safety, negative. So that's when he starts saying, hey, you're at risk of a great fire, my bro. Thank you. The lavender I'm going to actually place over here, I think. Let me actually just block in a space for a bridge here. Oh, there's actually another river slot here I want to keep an eye on. Maybe this actually just becomes even more wheat. I haven't really figured out the right balance for balancing population growth, as well as how to scale your cities effectively. But I think for now, here, let me just go ahead and place this down. I'll just make sure that slot's open for later, but then we're going to go ahead and start growing out some lavender. You can also rotate. Oop. Oh, there's actually a brush. Oh. So that you can do your farms. Interesting. I did not know that. That's hilarious. We're at 174. Oh, I messed that up. There we go. All right, there's a lavender, our first lavender farm. Now, of course, you can have these incorporated in a bunch of different areas. You could even maybe like put some over this direction. But we'll figure out. It feels as though knowing that they swapped which bar is production and which bar is consumption from 1800. Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, so this is your supply and this is your demand. I think it makes sense to have it supply and then demand. But it is a little bit confusing. All right, how many lavender fields? This process every 2 minutes, while the soap is 1 minute. So you want 2 lavender fields per. Let me actually finish out my shipyard area so I know where to place things. The ropes is going to need hemp. Let me actually just move these buildings around. Be able to connect here. Connect there. Nice. So we have your hemp. You have sheep that go for the sails. Oh, of course, it's one off. Hang on. I think that's fine for now.
How about I show you the ropes when it comes to
Oh,
ships?
Tarragon really likes you building boats. He's actually very encouraging.
And now you make sail. May Aeolus bag of winds help and not hinder.
I'm gonna go ahead and put another lavender field over here. I can even fit a little farmhouse nearby. Oops. Oh, right, there's that quest I need to do. Let's go ahead and expand out our lavender fields. There we go. And that, of course, is going to deliver over to this warehouse that we already have. And then I can even fit in some more houses over here. Scoot them around. And we'll get to play around with roads and some of the other items to introduce over here later. But there we are. We have a little bit of a wrapping around the coastline building.
Getting this empire back on its feet.
Meet your emperor. Oh, we just met the emperor. That's funny. You stand in the presence of Emperor Callias, former legate of the Legion. Nods as he surveys you before breaking out a childish grin, a grin with teeth. How do you wish to respond? Hail him jovially, increasing your reputation with him, or remain silent? Well, hail him. I guess he is in charge. Kissing your boots. Yeah, I guess so.
What
We can also work with the Emperor up this way. Actually... Oh, yeah, so you'll be able to see his reputation, your reputation with him, where you're at. Of course, if it gets too low, he will actually call you a rebel and go to war with you. All right, so we'll have our fashion resource online. Now, our latest resource, this is the household resource for plebeians, requires usually colonizing. So the resin required for the potters is not available on this island, and neither are olives for the olive oil. it always requires you to settle on a new island, which means I need to actually get my flagship around. While we're here, we might as well finish this quest line. Take Tarragon's family to the Emperor's associate. Yes, we'll do this.
The urgent matter, Ere.
Associates of D's. The Emperor trusts these associates fly no identifiable color nor banner. The captain waves you over with a scroll marked with an Imperial sigil. Sealed orders, he claims. Can't let you see them, but he promises you this. Hand over the family and all of Tarragon's problems will disappear. Ben Balian, on the other hand, is on edge. You could simply return Tarragon's family to the island yourself, which the Emperor did not want us to do. So why do you need all this secrecy? Will you entrust Tarragon's family to them? All right, the Emperor's associates want us to hand over Tarragon's family members, but they have no color and sealed orders that they won't let us see. So we could trust the ship and hand over the family. Outcome, you won't see the family again. No one ever will. Oh. Or distrust the ship. Prepare for a fight. All right, guys, what do you think we do? What do you think we do? Do we trust the Emperor's ships of people that will probably kill Tarragon's family, or do we say no and fight the Emperor's ship? Though the ship is not marked by the Emperor, so it's not like we're declaring war on the Emperor. Let's see. We probably want to keep Tarragon's family alive, right? Hey, you want to see some naval combat? All right, we're gonna distrust the ship. 2 arms. The captain shrugs, turns from you, faces his crew for a moment. It almost seems as though he's willing to let you go. Then the arrows start falling. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, naval combat. All right. Let's try to get broadside on them. I want to use my Scorpion. Oh god, he's a strong ship, doesn't he? So you can see my my archers firing from the tower, and my ballista. Oh my goodness! Oh, he has a catapult. Oh, we just dodged the catapult. Okay. Get out of there. Now this always works in the Anno117. It's just like sailing around them so they can't attack you broadside. Oh my god, we're gonna get him. Archer tower on a boat is a funny concept. Oh, he just hit me with a catapult. Oh my god, we won. Emperor will not be pleased.
That ship was Imperial property.
Yeah, you attacked me. Let's sail over to Tarragon then. I guess. Let's bring his family home. So that's actually kind of bad. That might hurt us later. Let's get a shipyard built. So I'm not gonna lie, I actually played this quest line on offline, and I lost the ship. And then Tarragon was like, "What happened to my family?" And then he declares war on you. It's really bad. I'm actually... Holy cow! He just offered me 10,000 gold. I'm glad he's on my side. Prestige-wise, though, and reputation. Let's look at our reputation with the governor.
For 2 hours, Harry. May I suggest some refreshments?
May I suggest some refreshments? So the 2-hour alerts are back. Our relationship is only at +1 with the governor, or with the emperor.
I once met with a desert.
Everyone else is actually better in the eyes of the governor. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. I'm gonna have to fix that later. All right, let's try to upgrade to the next tier resident, right? So what we're gonna need is to get either olive oil or the potters working in my cities. So what I need to do is find some islands. So we're gonna go ahead and sail out to these the fog of war north of us and figure out what we can find. Oh, let me also make sure that I finish out the soap production line, because we have lavender and we have the lard. I can now build soap. Now, this, I'm gonna go ahead and put. I want to have it near my market with the rest of this stuff, and the Grammaticus I'm actually going to move, and kind of have like the center of my city start being up this direction. But like the lower tier of my citizens can totally be down here. Refreshments? Can you chug a Red Bull with a soldier hod? I actually really appreciate the time acknowledgement in the Anno series, where it's like, hey, you've been playing for a long time. Maybe you should stand up and do a couple things. And as someone that gets locked into a game and wastes their entire day, I really appreciate it. It actually makes me play the game more. Because instead of having a game that lasted way too long and I need to like not play the game ever, what ends up happening is I play the game for a little bit of time, multiple days in a row. And I actually really like that. You can see we have a lot of charcoal. How's my food, actually, specifically? We actually want more tunics and Peleus' porridge. I'm going to focus specifically on the food stuff. You know what? We're going to go over here.
Our scouts have sighted new land.
This warehouse is probably need to be upgraded soon. Our research has completed. We actually have unlocked wells. And I think next I'm going to go for market forces. This will increase the range of your market, which means more people will just be in range. Leaving space for roads are very important while you're working. I actually might put a second warehouse here just because there's actually starting to be a lot of resources that are being delivered here. And all right, that charcoal goes that far. Let me actually make a little bit of room here. X. Actually have just a little bit of room for that little house. And let's also build our specialist building. So you can see here, we can actually place a specialist in here. And Farmer Cognostic, rare, increases the health. Nature specialist. I'm actually going to put that in the villa, because we're going to have a lot of buildings around here. A lot of people. A lot of population.
No, it looks good.
Nice. That's hilarious. Alrighty. Let's see. Where are we at? All right. So this is the...
You saved
All right. I saved his people.
my boy. Looks like trusting you was the best gamble I ever took.
All right. So that definitely did a lot of pain to my relationship with the Emperor, but it's really helped my relationship with him. He's also given me gold.
It's yours now.
And he also gave me a specialist. Ooh, a captain. You get gold for sinking ships. Increases your scorpion range and attack speed. That's actually huge. Is that a... Oh, and I lost more reputation with Callius. Yikes. All right, we'll put the... Nice. Okay, you can just go ahead and put the person in here. But yeah, let's look at our relationships. Let's see. We can offer gifts. We can take loans out again. Iron power, naval power, defensive power. Interesting. Oof. Looks like my computer is actually starting to lag a bit. I'm going to go ahead and lower the settings a bit. Just so we don't have to deal with that. Oh, right. We're still at high. So I'm gonna lower down my settings to, yeah, actually that's really slowing down my stream. We're gonna lower down the graphic quality. I meant to do that a while ago. Yeah,